to you by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram because Hannah Stuelke, who is out in Iowa's previous game, she will be in there at the 4th spot for the Hawkeyes.
Well, that's a matchup to watch. She is so powerful. Iowa, the traditional two-post lineup. They want to get points in the paint, and Ava Heiden is so good. 6'4", coming off her career high, 27 points, 12 of 15 from the floor in her last game, so she comes in hot.
Well, today's player to watch is sponsored by Geico. It feels good to Geico. Well, one of the top scoring offenses in the country in Michigan and Iowa with that terrific front court. And off we go here from Iowa City with Daniels knocking it out. And the hustle of Brooke Quarles-Daniels is something we will talk about all day long. She taps it out to the Hawkeyes.
Well, the pressure for Michigan, one of the keys today is, can Iowa handle that pressure?
Well, we talked about the Michigan offense, but the defense for Michigan, they have a game this year where they forced 43 turnovers. They forced 24 in their last game, a win against Michigan State. So Iowa with the basketball first. And chit-chat right through the back door, has to save it. And Heiden keeps it alive for the Hawkeyes. Quick clock on the opening trip of the day. And Feuerbach loses it. And there's the first turnover forced for Michigan. And transition leads to a Wolverines turnover.
Well, that's exactly what Michigan wants to do. Get those turnovers, live ball, and go run.
Well, at least this is senior day for the Hawkeyes. There's a lot of emotion, not with just the stakes of the game, but 4 seniors for Iowa. Once that ball's tipped, Jan Jansen said, they'll be nice and under control.
Well, and it's great to see Hannah Stuelke out there. She's got that left shoulder taped, but able to play.
And the Big Ten's benched rebounder is short off the offensive glass. So Michigan trying to get settled in with their fast-paced offense, led by Mila Holloway at point guard. 85 points per game for this Michigan offense, 5th in the country. And trouble with it for Silas Swords, and a tie-up for Wright. The arrow does stay with Michigan, but a good hustle for the Iowa point guard. Where do your eyes go down here with Michigan on offense?
Well, I think the way that they space the floor, and they are going to want to pull Heiden out of the paint. They're going to want to pull Stuelke out of the paint, and Olivia Olson is the matchup to watch, as once again, Iowa is bothering Michigan and forcing the turnover.
Well, interesting cross matchups, right? Because you have the 2 bigs against the 4 guards of Michigan.
It really is going to be the key to this game, especially Hannah Stuelke's matchup with Olivia Olson. Who can win that one? Power. They both are powerful and strong.
And that's what Michigan will do on the wing. They're going to hedge. They'll trap you a little bit. And the tie-up stays with the Hawkeyes.
Michigan's defense is about pressure and making you uncomfortable. They average almost 12 steals per game. They get out in transition out of that. That is why they are the #1 offense in the Big Ten. It's because of that defense.
A high post touch for Stuelke and a travel. Oh, an unsettled start about a minute and a half in here.
Well, senior day, without the ceremony, it's not as emotional. I think everybody knows that it's coming, but sometimes you really don't know how it's going to tip things. But in this sense, the senior day, but there's a whole bunch of sophomores on both sides, young teams that are battling it out today.
So many terrific young stars in the Big Ten and nationally in this game, including Holloway, who's at the controls here. It slides off and shutouts both ways. 2 minutes in. And Stuelke running the floor. And she can't break the seal. Rebound, and she's tied up. 3 jump balls, no points. 2 minutes gone in Iowa City.
Well, these are 2 physical teams that are not going to give an inch. Both of them trying to get a feel for this game and where are the cracks in the defenses and what is going to work. And so far, nobody's cracked the code on either side of how to get a bucket.
Yeah, they're a sealer in those cracks all the way so far. Michigan tries to get it going their 3rd trip down here with nothing up on the board. Here's Olson, their top scorer, and she knocks it down.
And a 3-point basket for Olivia is big. That is the one part of her game she is really getting better, and she is trending hot. Shot it well last year, but that's a big hit for her because she does everything everything else at a high level.
Well, like this, running the floor, but she's stripped. Iowa's defense comes up with another stand after Olson's opening three. And now Iowa looking for their first field goal, and Heiden has nothing there. Well, the tempo for Michigan is relentless. And Swords with a three, no. Offensive rebound and a jump ball as Quarles Daniels got swung to the ground by Ava Heiden.
I love the hustle from Quarles Daniels. She is 5'7", and she leads Michigan in offensive rebounding. And you saw it right there. Pursues the basketball. Most of the time, your point guard's getting back, and they send Mila Holloway back for the safety purposes. And Quarles Daniels just has a nose for it.
She has more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds at 5'7". Michigan fans know it well. That gets brought up a lot. In fact, she's 5'7" and is a really good rebounder. Nothing doing for Iowa yet. 0 for 4 with 3 turnovers this end. And there's a 4th turnover as Quarles Daniels picks it off the deck. And Michigan's defense usually leads the transition offense, but not here. Wright is trampled by Quarles Daniels.
Yeah, the moving screen, a clear foul. Just going in, initiating the contact, moving, sticking the hip out. Quarles Daniels doesn't like that call, but that one was pretty clear.
Kim Barnes-Arico is even like, are you sure? And the first foul either way. And 4 shots, 4 turnovers, no points for the Hawkeyes. And coming off back-to-back games where they've scored 80-plus points. And almost 4 minutes gone. Iowa's still searching. And Kylie Fierbach shooting well lately. She gives it up. Stremblow to deep position for Heiden. And there's the seal breaker.
And that possession worked because of the patience. The pressure didn't bother Iowa, and they were able to reverse it.
Olson off balance. Stuelke with another jump ball, and her and Sophomore came together. So combined score of 5 points, combined 5 jump balls. It is scrappy to start this game.
Hey, let the bodies hit the floor. This is getting intense. These are 2 physical teams that are not scared of contact. 2 of the better rebounding teams in the Big Ten, and they're going to get after it. We've seen that already. Baskets are not going to be easy to come by.
Look, you expect to get up into the 80s or 90s today with how Michigan can score it, and Iowa to have the mentality of we've got to score with Michigan today. And it has been a rugged start, and Sophomore and one.
Yeah, this is Sophomore going right into Heiden. She didn't like it, thought there was a lot of ball. And boy, that certainly looks like a lot of ball to me as well. But Sophomore able to go through the contact and get her shot into the bucket and a chance at a 3-point play.
And she does have 3. Olson from outside the hit for Michigan. Sophomore tagged a foul on Heiden. Now goes to the bench after her old school 3.
Well, in that first foul, Jan Jensen will take Heiden and give her a rest on the bench. Wonder how long she will stay the leading scorer. But Jordan Houston's played really well in relief lately.
And Stuelke is fouled. And got hit hard on her way to the free throw line by Olivia Olson. So an early test of that left shoulder for Stuelke that kept her out injured on Thursday at Purdue.
Well, she has been physical. Look at that contact and getting into Olson, drawing the foul on Michigan's leading scorer. It does not look like she is hesitant at all. And Hannah Stuelke is a dog here on Senior Day. That is what she's done to be one of the better post players in the Big Ten Conference in her time here with the Hawkeyes, is physicality and going through bodies to get to the lane.
Yeah, you wonder how physical she might be. You see the kinetic tape on her left shoulder. Took a hit late in the game against Nebraska a week ago. And only took about 2 shots yesterday at practice, but ready to go. And there's a travel on Michigan. And the turnover gives it back to the Hawkeyes.
Well, Iowa's defense has been good, just getting in position, not allowing Michigan to get any clean looks off. The Sophomore make, that was through contact, and the long three from Olivia Olson that went, had a hand in her face. So Iowa's defense has been there.
Now they try to get the offense set with some more length on the floor. Teala Del Foss just checked in. 6'3" with a long wingspan. Here's the assignment on Strumlow. Stuelke is doubled. The late help from Olson. And Stuelke draws a foul.
And that.
It's on Dudley, not Olson. Would have been a second on the top scorer for Michigan.
And it could have been. I think everybody from Michigan holding their breath as they called Dudley with the left hand coming down on Stuelke with Olson in the area.
That is a big sigh for Kim Barnes-Arico in Michigan. 19 points a game. Their do-it-all player avoids that second foul. Heiden sitting for Iowa. It's Houston and Stuelke in the front court for the Hawkeyes. Heiden picked up an early first foul. Strumlow lets it fly.
She has been absolutely white hot from the three-point line, coming off back-to-back career highs, 17 and then 19.
Into the paint, there's Holloway for two. And a turnover. Strumlow lost it. That's backcourt on Del Foss. So to our first time out, Wolverines and Hawkeyes still feeling each other out. One segment gone in this top 15 game. Here's senior day as well.
And there is Taylor McCabe, who unfortunately tore her ACL a few weeks ago, was already able to get surgery and has ditched the crutches. It's unfortunate she's not going to be able to be out here, but she's going to be just fine in life. Civil engineering degree, has applied to go to grad school, so she's going to do great things like so many from this Iowa program have done over the years.
Well, there was a real tender moment after practice yesterday where Jane Jensen spoke for about 10 minutes about her seniors, and when she got to Taylor McCabe, it was a little misty all the way around in the gym yesterday.
Because everybody wants her out there battling on the floor with them, and it just, things are out of your control when you have injuries. That's the agony and ecstasy of sport.
Oh, terrific duck under for Chip Chat Wright to tie the score. So Michigan, one of the most efficient offenses in all of college basketball. And an 8-8 tie, trying to get loose inside with Dudley and can't. Taylor Strumlow, a three before that timeout. She feeds Heiden, who through the double team has a real tough look at the rim.
That's a good job walling up by Michigan's defense. Heiden's going to have to be careful back on the floor without first personal. You want to go over the back pursuing those misses.
And Holloway got her own, then stepped on the baseline. What have you seen with the defense, both ways?
Well, Michigan's defense has been really good in some areas. They have already 4 steals, but 0 points off of those turnovers that they have forced, which is uncharacteristic for Michigan. And Iowa's just been steady. They've held their ground. They haven't given any crevices. And Silas Swords has been very quiet. They have been in her space. She is scoreless, just 1 shot for one of the best shooters in the nation.
I love when you asked Kim Barnes-Arico, the Michigan coach yesterday. Here's Wright. It's off. And a rebound for Michigan. You asked, what's the secret to your offense? And she said, their defense.
Yeah.
Now there's the defense for Strumlow. The pocket pick for the Iowa sophomore. And the several young stars in this game. Into the back. And out to Houston. No. And Sophomore tops it free.
To see Iowa, they want to go inside out, traditional offense.
Inside for Sophomore. Fearbox smothers it. Well, defense playing at a high level both ways to start this game.
Fearbach got there on the bounce so quickly.
And Chip Chat Wright, short. Houston keeps it alive and puts it back.
Well, this game has started gritty. It has not been pretty, and it's going to be who's going to be toughest here in Iowa.
whistle and the foul. First foul on Kylie Fierbach. Well, that's a great way to put it, Elise. Gritty, not pretty. That's to say the least. 7.5 minutes gone.
Well, 4 turnovers for Michigan in the last 2 minutes and change. They have not been able to score. So Iowa bringing their defense to the table.
Michigan right in the gauntlet right now in their final 3 games. They are playing all top 15 teams, including here on Ohio State. And Iowa continues to swarm. Another jump ball is ranks it back for Iowa.
And that defense from Chit-Chat, outstanding. She navigated the screens, got over them quickly, hand in the shot pocket of Swords, and then gets in there and deflects it away from the sharpshooter. That is excellent defense from Chit-Chat.
Oh, you can feel the desperation early in this game of the stakes for Iowa trying to nail down a host in the opening weekend of the NCAA tournament as Michigan comes up with a steal. Michigan trying to nail down a 1 seed possibly in the NCAAs. Holloway 3. Offensive rebound. Sophomore, no. Another one right at the doorstep that wouldn't fit.
5 steals for Michigan, 0 points off of those turnovers.
Now that high hedging defense leads to a deflection. It's out of bounds. Stays with Iowa.
Well, in the sneak attack, you can prepare for the Michigan trap in practice and in shoot-arounds, but it gets on you so quickly and in different spots of the court. That is why Michigan is so effective with their pressure. You don't know where it's coming from possession to possession.
And they put a big emphasis on Chit-Chat Wright, a little bit undersized at point guard, sending length at her. Like they just did before Iowa inbounded. She slides the pass in. Nice high, low. Stuelke puts it away.
Excellent ball movement, quick passing.
And a good pass by Swords over the top. No finish. Sophomore cleans it up after the Quarles-Daniels miss.
And again, the offensive rebounds. Neither team shooting lights out. It's who's hitting the glass.
4 offensive rebounds from Michigan. Within 2 with under a minute to go in this first quarter. Noisy Carver Hawkeye Arena. And on the deck again, Sophomore is fouled. Addie Deal with the reach in.
Michigan's trapped once again. Freshman Addie Deal onto the floor. A McDonald's All-American, and she gets enveloped by 2 blue jerseys quickly.
I mean, jump balls, dog piles, maybe a little bit of blood in the mouth of Addie Deal. That's this first quarter to a T.
And the fight doesn't start till you taste your own blood, right?
That's right. But White Goodman who said, I like the taste of my own blood. Yep. There's Olson, top scorer for Michigan. Stranglo's right with her. Another deflection. And Michigan keeps it alive. Half a minute to go in the first. Swords badgered by Wright. Found freedom underneath.
Just a little daylight for Swords. Good footwork going all the way to the left side of the hoop and then swinging back to finish on the right.
And the shot clock is off. Michigan loves to speed you up. Even late in this first quarter clock. Down to 5. Still no movement toward the basket. Sophomore with the takeaway. Quarles-Daniels loses it. And there's your summary of the first quarter. Whoa, 2 of the best in the country. I'm sure we'll wake up as it gets closer to noon Central Time here at Carver Hawkeye Arena. 12-12 at the end of 1. This part of the country known for its wrestling, it's carried over to basketball. Been a minute for Michigan in their last win against Iowa, 5 in a row for the Hawkeyes, and that last win for Michigan was a Caitlin Clark game, one of her early breakout games, 46 points, including a couple logo threes at Chrysler, but that was Michigan's 98-90 win, their last. Jordan Hobbs on the sideline. She'd be a good third base coach on top of being a good pro baller. Today's rivalry resume is sponsored by Venmo. This basketball season, score more with Venmo, but 5 wins in a row for Iowa. That includes the semifinal of the Big Ten tournament in Minneapolis a few years ago. But Michigan feels like they are due to finally get the Hawkeyes.
Well, this is on pace to be Michigan's best team ever. And they already have 13 wins in Big Ten play, the most ever. And this is a place that they've not had success with. Kim Barnes-Arico has only won here one time, and that was in season number 1 for her, as Swords finally gets free. But for Michigan, this would be breaking through against this Iowa team.
Michigan went to the Elite Eight a few years ago. Leah Brown and Naz Hillman. But this is a Michigan team that is Final Four good and national title good. They've played UCLA and UConn as close as anybody.
Well, they have 4 losses this season. 3 are to right now #1 seeds in the NCAA tournament if it were to start today. It has been a gauntlet of a schedule for Michigan, and they have stepped up and got some big wins.
UCLA, UConn, and Vanderbilt, all close games for Michigan in those 3 losses. Olson in and out, and Heiden is toppled and fouled by Sophomore.
Well, Michigan would like to get Olivia Olson more involved in the offense. That was just her 3rd shot. None have come in the paint. She hit the 3. That one was a mid-range jumper. She is a physical force at 6'1", is so versatile, but just hadn't got a lot of touches yet in this one.
Iowa probably spent half hour on that yesterday at their practice. The curls into the paint for Olivia Olson.
That's her money move for sure.
We've done a good job defending it. Just that one outside hit. The top scorer for the Wolverines. Here's Iowa's top scorer. Heiden still yet to get going, but wrestle away to a turnover. Well, that was the story of the first quarter both ways, and there's an offensive foul. Chit-chat right off the ball. Takes it on Quarles Daniels, and that's the best defender for Michigan, picking up her 2nd.
Getting tangled up away from the ball. Quarles Daniels just trying to seal to give Mila Holloway some space and a lane to the hoop, but too much contact. She got called for an illegal screen earlier, so 2 fouls for her away from the ball.
Quarles Daniels was pointing it right like she pulled me down, baited me into it. Another turnover. Bierbach gives it to Michigan. Quarles Daniels, it's a block. Basket will not count. Wright thought she had snuck in there again to draw 3rd on Quarles Daniels.
Oh, this is a bang-bang play right here. Lowering the shoulder, I think that could have been an offensive foul. Chit-chat right. Moving her feet right here. Torso was set. I think that Quarles Daniels is fortunate not to come away with her 3rd foul on that play.
And sensing that she was right on the cliff, Kim Barnes-Arico sent her to the bench.
Well, and I love the intensity from Quarles Daniels. She's coming out here and playing with some fire. That's what it takes to get a win here in Carver Hawkeye Arena. You have got to come in, and you're fighting 15,000 people as well as the Hawkeyes, and they are behind their team, full force.
Everybody was in their seats. Foul before tip. And there's a block. Ava Heiden with a strong drive on Sophomore. It's Sophomore 2nd, so the starting post player for Michigan joins Quarles Daniels in some foul trouble.
And Michigan has very little depth at their center position. Sophomore might have to stay on with the 2 fouls, and what a difficult thing when you're supposed to match up with Ava Heiden, who wants that back to the basket, down low in the paint, physical style. Sophomore is going to have a challenge here to remain foul-free for the last 8 minutes of this half.
Looks like Kim Barnes-Arico agrees with you. Sophomore staying in. Again, the double post look for Iowa. Del Foss passed on an open look. And gets it to Swords, the best outside shooter, who has Bierbach switch on. Olson has size. And finish over right. 2 points either way in the 2nd quarter. After a rocket first quarter, Heiden knows. Stuelke puts it back. looking healthy after the game, out with a shoulder injury, and Stuelke, the best rebounder in the Big Ten, with a couple of putbacks early. It's deflected. Sophomore back on it. Jump ball. We have said that a bunch the first 13 minutes of this game.
Well, Stremlo and this defense moving their feet, and what a job of anticipating that spin from Stremlo, and then she is fired up, getting up. Hannah Stuelke said that Taylor Stremlo, she'll chest bump anybody. She gets us fired up. She's the heartbeat of this team, the sophomore, and Iowa 10-0 when she is in the starting lineup this season.
Chad Leistico, Des Moines Register, made a great point. It's in and out to right. There's kind of some Kate Martin quality to Stremlo, the way she chest bumps everybody. And Stremlo has the on-ball defense, forces the give up. Del Foss can't bring it up. Michigan not heavily relying on threes. They're mostly a paint-oriented offense. And Dudley tied up with Heiden. And Kendall Dudley picks up her second foul.
Well, and that is the concern when you take Sophocanic off the floor. It's just a physical mismatch for anyone else for Michigan against Ava Heiden. Heiden is 6'4", and she's going to get a breather right now. But Kendall Dudley, not nearly as strong down in the paint. She's just 6'2".
Dudley, Sophocanic, Quarles Daniels, all with 2 fouls for Michigan. Dudley stays in there against Stuelke, who saves it off of Dudley.
High IQ. Hannah Stuelke, that looked like a short turnover, and with her body control, made sure she did not step onto the baseline right here, timed it up, and then just pounded it off at Dudley. Very smart.
Got her mom and dad up off their seats. The rainbow goes for Stremlo.
She's absolutely unguardable at the three-point line right now. 3 for 4, and then 5 for 6 from 3 in her last 2 games, and started hot in this one with 2 already.
Del Foss, no. Rebound for Stuelke. Iowa foot on the gas with Houston running the floor. Del Foss right with her. Please, quick math, that's 10 of her last 12.
Thank you.
I saw you doing
I was trying to add it up. I need you to do it in your head. Well done, Connor.
Saw you doing the math by hand over there. Here's Stuelke with a turnaround. And just raised the front.
It's a good look for Stuelke. That's what they want. The bread and butter of Iowa's offense.
Holloway quiets the crowd. Iowa had built their biggest lead, although just 5 points. It has been tight these first 15. Right, steers clear. That is off. Offensive rebound to Houston. And just did keep that pivot. Right will back it out. Down to 10 on the shot clock again. Right, drives Swartz. Wraps a pass in for Stuelke. Down to 2 to go. Beerbock. And Stuelke in pursuit, but out and back to the Wolverines.
And I thought Hannah Stuelke had a couple of chances in the lane to go up with it and kicked it out.
A black and blue type start. It is 19-16. And thanks a lot. Looking forward to your halftime with Kim Adams coming up. That South Carolina game Allison brings up is interesting to Michigan fans. They're in competition for a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. South Carolina would have won if it started today.
Well, Michigan number 6 in the net rankings and number 6 in the AP rankings. And they've already won 22 games this season. They were 23-11 last year. So if they are able to secure a win today, they'd already have the same number of wins. But they're pushing through for so much more this season. They were in the NCAA tournament for the 7th straight year last year. Made it to the 2nd round where they fell to Notre Dame. They avenged that loss from last year in the non-con, where they hammered Notre Dame pretty good early.
Houston comes up with a loose ball for Iowa. And for a Michigan fan, you're cheering for anybody that's playing Texas, LSU, or Vanderbilt over the next couple of weeks. And Michigan, if they can get through this final 3-game stretch with 3 wins, it's going to be in a real good spot for a 1 seed. 12 days until the Big Ten tournament, as that's an air ball for Stremlow. And back to the back to the Wolverines.
This game is so important, as you mentioned, for Michigan trying to push forward because of their schedule and how good the Big Ten is. They're going to have plenty of opportunities at high RPI games at Ohio State next. And for Iowa, they want to make sure they can continue to move up too. They've stabilized after losing Taylor McCabe. They lost 3 in a row. Now they're on the 3-game win streak.
The top scorer, Olson, for Michigan, has been quiet. They get it out of her hands. Holloway on the cross. And nasty from the mid-range for Holloway.
That's a brilliant job of creating your own shot off the dribble from Holloway.
Well, she had one just like that a few games ago where the defender fell down. Stremlow, air ball. A second chance for Stuelke, and another putback. The biggest lead for Iowa in this first half has been 5. It's up to 3. Olson with the miss. Dudley wrestles it back from Michigan. Going the reverse side and can't hit it.
Iowa not allowing Olivia Olson to turn that corner.
Feuerbach knocks it down.
Great job from Feuerbach, setting her feet, ready to knock that shot in, and this crowd, as loud as it's been so far.
Well, she had the defense. She hammered Olson on the way by, who fell down. Here's Wright. The runner that sits. A flurry for the Hawkeyes, and back to the whiteboard for Kim Barnes-Arico in Michigan.
A 7-0 run. And this is a brilliant pass by Chit Chat on a dime, firing it over to the opposite side. Nobody in the area. Feuerbach ready to knock it in. And then Chit Chat, little show pump fake, and the leaner going in for Chit Chat. That pull-up game for her is strong, and something that Jan Jensen has talked about. Not taking it all the way to the rim at 5'4" in the Big Ten Conference, but hitting those runners, and she is an outstanding three-point shooter at 48%. And that was a great decision, being patient, taking that shot before the defense got to her.
Well, at least Michigan has had the clamps on a lot of this first half until the 7-0 run. What's the adjustment for Kim Barnes-Arico?
Well, I think that they want to continue to get the ball in the hands of Olivia Olson. And she's got 6 shots here in the first half. She's so physical, but Iowa's defense just has walled up against her. They want to move her off some screens, get her at the high post area. You mentioned the curls that she's so good at. Feuerbach has been in her area and hasn't allowed her to get free.
Holloway spins it out. Stuelke bangs in there for the rebound. A turning point for Iowa's defense happened a couple of weeks ago. They lost 3 in a row. They've rebounded to win 3 in a row. The win against Washington, a defensive turning point. Heiden saved it and rejoins the play with Deal in possession. And good defense for Dudley. And Dudley out joining the guards. 5 to shoot. Extra one for Feuerbach, and Swart swipes it. And Michigan trying to stop the 7-0 Iowa run. And Feuerbach with another takeaway. Runners with her. She finds Wright. And an air ball.
Yeah, she did not have her legs underneath that one. And this is one of the best shooters in the nation. 48% for Chit Chat. You want that shot all the time. That one just did not go.
Michigan with a long drought on offense. Last 7 points to the Hawkeyes. And Dudley can't get him right. Swords over the top, and it'll be a block-out foul on Iowa.
Oh, Jan Jensen is going to lose her mind. For Chit Chat Wright at 5'4", and the height disadvantage against Silas Swords, who's 6 feet tall. You want to block out. Look, perfect position. That's a no call in my opinion. to Chet's in position. She had the inside position. And she wasn't displacing her. That you can get a foul for blocking out if you're displacing somebody, but Silas Swords left her feet to go grab the basketball, but she's entitled to.
And it is the second foul on Wright, and a hand check on Deal. That's her second. So Iowa has started to mirror some of that foul trouble for Michigan. Both Deal and Wright in the backcourt have 2 fouls. You know, it's funny with Jan Jensen. She was saying the other day, I'm asking myself constantly, do I need a Zen moment or a fire and brimstone moment? That was the fire and brimstone.
I think she's just absolutely so much fun to watch on the sideline, and she fires her team up. She fires this crowd up. Year 2 taking over for Lisa Bluter, and she's done a really nice job. And what I like about her is that she stepped into the pressure cooker of being the head coach at Iowa, and she doesn't blink when things are hard. When there's a losing streak or the difficult loss, she gets right back and says, this is how we're going to solve it, ladies. Let's do it together. Her demeanor is spot on.
Headed to their 8th consecutive NCAA tournament. There's a turnover on the entry for Stremlow. Can Michigan break the seal? They can't. And Deal has the rebound, and she's fouled. 3 straight minutes without a basket for Michigan. The Hawkeyes will go down with an 8-point lead and a 3rd foul on Quarles Daniels.
In a physical game, Quarles Daniels has picked up 3 fouls and not on-ball defense, which is rare. It has been hustle plays trying to get into position, and she's going to have to take a seat.
At least that's their best defender, their toughest player.
And their best offensive rebound.
Right. It really ignites them. Michigan will try to pull out of it. Likely without Quarles Daniels, the final 54 seconds of the half. 1 and 2 for Deal. Adding to the biggest lead of the day for Iowa. Now, Hawkeyes are 7-2 on this floor against top 10 teams in the last 8 years. Trying to add another today. And crowd thought it was a walk. Delphos with a miss. Olson with a putback. So that stops the nearly 3-minute drought for the Wolverines.
And just the 5th point of the first half for Olivia Olson, who averages over 19 and having to go to the old boards to get that one. Feuerbach has done an excellent job. Wherever Olivia Olson is, she has been in her area like a shadow.
She's been the eraser a lot of the year for Iowa defensively. Inside 10 seconds until the half. Iowa by 7. Stremlow slides off. Olson in Michigan, one last chance. At half court, it is off. And that brings an end to a rugged first half in Iowa City that sees the Hawkeyes into the locker room up by 7. Michigan, a Final Four national championship contender, alive for a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. The Hawkeyes trying to put a stamp on their resume to be a first weekend host, up by 7 at Carver Hawkeye. Allison Williams, Kim Adams next.
In this one, you see both teams just so physical and getting after it. Nobody backing down. Baskets are hard to come by. Nobody's allowing any just straight drives to the rim, and everything's contested. It has been feisty. This feels like a grudge match, and Michigan's defense has been in there forcing 13 turnovers, but then Iowa comes back and says, I'll match you and even go better. They have forced Michigan, the #1 offensive team in the Big Ten, #5 in the nation, to 16 first half turnovers. They average 14 per game, so Michigan has been coughing the ball up against this Iowa defense. Very uncharacteristic of Michigan.
Well, at least Michigan's still alive for a share of the Big Ten title as Olson knocks it home to maybe get her day going for the top scorer for the Wolverines.
Excellent back screen. She curled around. Feuerbach got lost on the screen, and she was Olivia Olson able to power through. I think Feuerbach might have got a little tip of that ball, but it did not affect Olson.
So 7 points for Olson. Stuelke, the top scorer for Iowa, has another rebound. 8 points, 8 rebounds for Stuelke. Into Iowa's top scorer, Ava Heiden, off the ball fake.
She's so deceptive, very unorthodox post moves from Heiden. You see the quickness on that take.
She's up to 6 points, averaging 17 on the year. Her Hannah Stuelke might go double the way they're going. Michigan second in the Big Ten, led by Holloway in the first half, and a rebounding foul. It's against Ava Heiden in her second. Picked up the early first one and avoided foul trouble the rest of the first half.
Yeah, Jensen did a nice job picking her moments for Heiden with the first personal early. When you get that second foul in the first half, it just wipes away your ability to be as aggressive.
Sophomore can't foul trouble, and she can't get in the second half book. And Holloway jumped it and steals it for the moment.
And that is really what we saw in the first half. The turnovers followed by a quick turnover. Well, Holloway thought she had nabbed that pass, only to give it right back.
I don't think there was any sequence that better summarized that first half than the final 5 seconds of the first quarter. It was a steal, transition that ended up broken play. And a jump ball and a scrap right after it. Two teams that want it bad for their resume. Heiden knocks down the mid-range. So that matches the biggest lead of the day for the Hawkeyes at 9. Olson is fouled off the curl. Gearbox said it was a flop. Officials said it's her second foul. So here's the deal with Iowa. They are projected as a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament right now. A good final couple of weeks, and they will be at home the first weekend of the NCAA tournament. Michigan is still alive technically for the Big Ten title that UCLA has at least a share of, but it takes winning out their final 3 games and 2 UCLA losses. Bruins have not lost at all this season in the Big Ten.
The odds are not in their favor for that.
And the Swords underneath and took steps. So the turnover troubles for Michigan. Man, this is just so unlike Michigan offensively. It's their 18th.
They average over 86 points per game. Iowa has limited them just 22 points through 22 minutes.
Almost as many points as turnovers for this high-powered Michigan offense. Stuelke lost it. Olson throws her body on the floor, and it's Michigan ball. How many times have we seen Olson do that?
The dirty work. Olivia Olson that time sacrificing her body, poking that free, and earning the Wolverines a possession.
Looked like her goalie days.
A little bit more graceful.
Grass probably feels better than what you just landed on here in Iowa City. Former high school state championship goalie Olivia Olson up in Minnesota. And more bodies crashing. It's been human dominoes all day. And Kylie Fierbach's third foul.
Well, 2 fouls back to back in these possessions. And that's tough. That's a good screen set. Fierbach has the right to try to get over the top of that screen, but you can't go through the contact. So as long as that screen is set, you have to change your path and avoid that contact, or you are going to pick up a personal. And this is a big moment in this game because Kylie Fierbach has been like glue to Olivia Olson, has not given her any kind of room to work.
And with Fierbach out with a third foul, it's Callie Levine guarding Olson. Levine is in for the first time today. Did not play in the first half. Sophomore powered through trouble.
The physical game continues.
15,400 officials making their voice heard. And they hold off the crew with that foul call. Levine Olson second.
Well, you better get used to having contact and trying to play through it if you're going to find yourself in this matchup today between Iowa and Michigan. The course has been set. You always have to have a feel for the officials and what they're going to call, and it has been a physical game. It's been clearly established.
What do you think the athletic trainers are thinking? Here's Heiden, easy two.
That's the bread and butter of Iowa's offense. They have not got it as often as they have most of this season against this Michigan defense, but they want Heiden on the block going to work.
Here's that matchup. Olson is fended off by Levine. Offensive rebound, Corals Daniels. She's on the re-attack. And can't get it home. Iowa keeps their 9-point lead. And the sophomore, Callie Levine, pulled off the bench for 23 minutes of not playing. Stuelke fills the lane. Kick out right. Almost an open bank Sunday. Wright has been on Swords most of the day. Swords takes her, left it short, and Wright's out of the pack. And the Sophomore stays down, so it's a 5-on-4 for Iowa. Into the post, and Olson's third foul.
See the frustration from Olson as she's trying to get back and take away the Iowa opportunity. You know, for Michigan, one of the #1 keys was to be as physical as this Iowa squad. Olivia Olson matched up with Hannah Stuelke at times in this game, who's one of the most physical players in this conference. Everybody's going to leave with bruises and cuts. You just have to be ready.
Ice bags, stimming, cupping, all the above. Be part of the training.
That's your pregame routine, isn't it, Connor?
Yeah, you saw the bruises. 4 to shoot. Tremlow. Swords is right with her. Levine. Knocks it in. Well, Callie Levine, go guard the best player and do it after not playing all day. You got herself a bucket. And Olson can't counter. Dudley, Tremlow together. Whose ball? It's Michigan ball.
Well, you love this for the sophomore coming in off the bench, knows how much time is on the shot clock, coming in to guard Olson, but Callie Levine, the 5'9" sophomore Iowa kid, getting a big bucket here in the second half.
Sophomore from Solon, Iowa. Nearby here at Iowa City. And there's that matchup again. Levine turned her away. Swords can't hit it. And Delphos is called for the Michigan foul.
Well, I'll tell you, Iowa's guards have come to play, especially defensively. Chit-chat right in the lap of Silas Swords wherever she goes. And I think might be a little bit of an advantage for Chit-chat being smaller, just navigating the screens. She's skinnying up, getting through, and being there on the catch for Swords.
You think so? An advantage that way?
I really do. She's gotten small in space against some of these big screens, and she hasn't got stuck on any of them.
And Michigan wanted to take advantage of that height. Tremlow can't connect. And Michigan thought their length would supersede the size of Wright. Delphos finds the line and finds 3.
For a big hit. She started off hot from 3, 10 of 20 to start the season, but that was her first made 3 in 10 games, and that was a big one.
And her first points in this game for Delphos. Houston, it danced off the rim. So Delphos, fresh off her first points, is back on the ball for Michigan, setting up Holloway, and back-to-back hits for the Wolverines. So a little murmur crawling through Carver Hawkeye Arena. It's gotten antsy as Michigan has their best offensive sequence of the day with a couple of threes.
Boy, get hot at the right time. Mila Holloway sticking it within 5.
Guys, in this top 15 game of top 3 teams in the Big Ten, UCLA against Wisconsin later tonight, Michigan wins wins out, UCLA loses out, they'll share the Big Ten title.
Well, they still have a very difficult schedule coming up. 3 straight top 20 opponents to end the year, including this game at Iowa, then at Ohio State, Senior Day versus Maryland. So it's already tournament time for both these teams. That is what it has been like in the Big Ten Conference this season. Already 21 seasons. A projected 3 seed for the Iowa Hawkeyes, but they too, you want to finish playing your best basketball as you head into the conference tournament.
Well, win this game if you're Iowa, and odds are you will be a top 4 seed and a host in the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. They've been in control in the league for most of this game.
Jan Jensen putting Feuerbach back onto the floor with those 3 personals, immediate dividends.
Foul trouble for Michigan all day long, too, with Earls Daniels playing the 3 fouls. So Mechanic has had foul trouble. That's a miss. And Heiden has the rebound. So Michigan will have to come back to stamp their resume a little bit deeper. Still alive for a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. There's Feuerbach. Can't make it back-to-back. Michigan loves to push, but they have not had anything in transition today. This will be a sideline out.
0 fast break points for this explosive Michigan offense. They have done a fantastic job getting back on defense, have the Hawkeyes. Guards have done. Olivia Olson has been held to 7 points, 3 of 10 shooting, and Silas Swords just 5-shot attempts. She's 2 of 5 for 4 points, and Chit Chat right there holding her ground.
Oh, that is tough. Olivia Olson from mid-range.
She can hit from anywhere, but in that mid-range, I think she is the most dangerous.
A 2-player combo for Stuelke and Heiden.
And how fast was the answer out of the net? Iowa able to quickly get down the floor and score.
So Iowa has thrown a little stiff arm at Michigan. After the 6-0 run, cut it 2-6. And forced the Iowa timeout. Swords down the baseline, dances down to Heiden.
That was one of her best looks of the game, but cannot connect.
Into Stuelke, 1-on-1. Second leading score for Iowa, turned away. Inside 2 minutes in the third. All sorts of traffic on Heiden. 8 to shoot, Feuerbach. A rolling Stuelke off her hands and out. Olson had the recovery.
Just off the fingertips, the right read from Feuerbach. Good roll to the hoop from Stuelke, who's working on a double-double. She's got 9 boards and 7 points, but and like so many, it just ends up in a turnover in this game.
Offensive foul for Dudley on the screen. It's Dudley's third. Well, what's it going to take for Michigan to unlock it down there?
Well, I just think you got to keep chopping at the tree, but you've got to find a way for somebody to screen Chit Chat right for Silas Swords. I mean, she just has not been able to get any clean looks.
So bring your axe next time?
Exactly.
Yeah. Keep chopping at the tree.
Keep chopping. But Silas, an elite scorer and shooter. You've got to find a way to get her involved.
Let's see if they can keep chopping. 32 points from offense. As electric as any in the Big Ten. Dudley stays in with the foul trouble. Holloway. Del Foss hit out there earlier. Doesn't take this one. He's cut off, but stayed with it, and Stuelke finishes the trick.
Drops her 10th rebound of the game, doing the dirty work today for Iowa. That was a physical play, and she secures the board.
7 points to go with those 10 rebounds for Stuelke on a day where she was unsure if she could play with a left shoulder injury. Heiden. It pops out. Oh, man, that was in the heart of the rim. And Holloway runs it down for Michigan. 6-second difference, game and shot clock at the end of the third quarter. Now, Hawkeye fans have loved what this team has done on defense today. Swords breaks free for a triple.
Excellent job using the screen that time from Silas Swords. Went in and out and finally lost Chit-Chat.
In the final seconds of the quarter, Fierbach finds space. And banks it home! A Sunday bank special. A Carver Hawkeye for Kylie Fierbach. One to remember on her senior day.
Well, know the time, step back behind the line, let it fly off the line on the window. It's all working for Fierbach here on senior day as her team envelops her with some love on senior day. She wants a win, though, here on her home floor.
She said yesterday she couldn't pinpoint one moment at Carver Hawkeye that was her favorite. One might have just joined the race. A buzzer-beating three for Fierbach. Hawkeyes up 7. For the fourth quarter, so we welcome you back. Elise Woodward, Connor Onion, Kylie Fierbach. One word to describe her from Jan Jensen: humility. Another one to add to it: buzzer beater after that third quarter hit.
Well, she has been the lockdown defender for Iowa throughout this season, and certainly in this game, she had the assignment of trying to slow down the leading scorer for Michigan, Olivia Olson, and she has done a great job. Olson, 9 points. She averages 19 and just 4 of 11 from the floor. And Fierbach has been in her space all game long, disrupting.
Let's see if Olson can turn it around, but she struggled against Iowa last year. Just 6 points. Second lowest of Olson's career. Hawkeyes put the clamps on. Here's Fierbach. Back out with 8 on the shot clock. Short corner pop. Houston, no. Michigan's first trip in this fourth quarter. Playing from behind most of the day. And a travel for Del Foss.
Del Foss had beaten the defense down the floor. That is the speed that Michigan wants to play with. They have yet to get a fast break bucket. And that 2 points erased after the travel.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
Iowa's done a fantastic job of getting back. Make or miss, they're getting back, or after turnovers.
Michigan can run up 20 to 30 transition points on you in a hurry. Stuelke misses the mark. So Michigan down by 7, looking for their first points of this fourth quarter. Alive for a 1 seed in the Big Dance. Alive for the 2 seed in the Big Ten tournament. And nothing there for Sophomore. The Hawkeyes, if they can hold on to this win, they would tie Michigan in the Big Ten standings. Don't think that the committee's not taking notice of who finishes second in this league behind UCLA.
The selection committee's eyes are on this game for sure.
Stremlow. And the lid is on in this fourth quarter. Minute and a half gone, no points.
Stremlow started making her first 2 threes of the game and has missed her last 4 now.
Short for Olson. You can understand why there might be some tired legs even this early in the fourth.
Well, Michigan should be fresh. They're coming off their bye week, but they had to travel here, and it is an early morning tip time. Well, Iowa's had some third game this week.
This game has been a boxing match. What a find! Stremlow finds Stuelke.
Boy, that had some pace on it, too. Spring training getting going. Stremlow says, I'll show you a fastball. Whipping that on the skip pass. This crowd loving that.
Who you got on our picture count? George Kirby?
Sure, why not? It's all righty.
Del Foss, shorts. Rebound for Houston. Figured being Seattle, Kirby might be undermined.
Fingers crossed.
Down to the paint. Stuelke returns the favor, but Stremlow can't put it away. Reverse of that combo from last time. And Michigan almost 3 minutes gone. No points yet this quarter. Swords pounded by Fierbach. Del Foss got her second of the day.
2 times now for Del Foss. The defense sucking in. And she has made the Hawkeyes pay.
Iowa has been able to counter when Michigan has And started to hit some shots, including a 6-0 run in the third. And there's one more answer. It's Journey Houston this time.
I love the minutes that Journey Houston, the freshman, Davenport, Iowa native, she has been so good when needed off the bench for the Hawkeyes.
Strong drive. Mila Holloway attacks the first on Strumlow.
Houston, a career-high 16 points in the start in place of Hannah Stuelke in the last game, the win versus Purdue. Just big minutes and production for a player playing out of position this year. I just love the toughness from Houston, the ability to say, whatever you need, coach, I'll play down in the post. She's a guard by trade, but boy, doing a great job for Iowa this season.
It's like she's building the plane while flying it. A guard playing the forward, on the job learning. Holloway a chance to cut it back to 6, and she does. Been a frustrating afternoon for Quarles Daniels, who comes back in. And fought first half foul trouble with 3 fouls. Back in there with her tough defense. Get the ball on Swartz.
I think Fearbach lucky. She lost track of that ball, picked it up in Coffin corner. Couldn't go backwards into the backcourt, the sideline to defender. But due to the kick, Iowa will retain possession.
On the wings, in the corners at least. That's where Michigan creates real trouble. And this is trouble down in the post. And Michigan gets it back. At least the closest they've been in this half is 4.
Well, we thought Iowa might pull away. The momentum, the crowd was totally in it. Led by 11 points, but we are clearly in the game. The door wide open for Michigan, only down 6.
Quarles Daniels turns it over. Maddie Deal jumps it. And down to 6 minutes to go. In a 6-point game. Iowa has beaten Michigan 5 times in a row.
And they want to get the ball to Ava Heiden here.
No touch for her yet. 20 seconds gone. There's her first. Right back to Deal. Crowd comes. And calmly she puts it away.
Calmly is right. The true freshman. One of the biggest buckets of the night to give the Hawkeyes an 8-point advantage.
Quarles Daniels, I don't think she picked that up again.
No, they missed that.
She was the last one to touch that. Was calling for help. And the third end does not pay it off. And Michigan almost turned that into 3 free points. And we hit the halfway point of the 4th. And Heiden in deep.
That is her moneymaker right there. And Sophomore trying to draw the charge all the way out by the 3-point line. Didn't get the call, and then Heiden gets down to the box and goes to work. That is a gorgeous left-hand hook for a 10-point lead.
Thank you very much. Our progressive game summary. Get slam dunk savings today. That bottom line has helped out Iowa defensively a bunch today, with Michigan giving it away over 20 times, but a little chippiness between Heiden and Sophomore going to break there.
Yeah, Sophomore trying to bait Heiden into the foul well beyond the 3-point line, and then Heiden takes her to work down inside the lane. They get tangled up. Heiden asking the official a little help after getting smacked, and that's the result. Ava Heiden now playing with some fire in her belly, the sophomore out of Sherwood, Oregon, in the Portland, Oregon area. And she's tough. Yeah, she is tough. And what a revelation, the improvement for Heiden from last year to this year. She's one of the best players in this conference.
Some low reaching from getting to know you a little bit, making different out there.
Well, I think she's way different. First player from Oregon in the history of Iowa program history, and boy, what a great addition she has been for Jan Jensen.
Oh, she has a block.
I just love the passion that she's playing with. Look at them right now. the style of Swords three-point attempt and then saying, let's go.
And a racer to go with her double-double and an Olson turnover as Stremlow orchestrates the crowd for Iowa.
Just nothing has come easy for Michigan because of Iowa's defense. They have been there on the catch. They've worked around screens. They've gotten back in transition. They've built a 10-point lead due to the grittiness of their play on that end.
And Fierbach fouled by Holloway. First foul for Holloway. First for Michigan in this fourth quarter. And by the way, Heiden, her third consecutive double-double, working on 14 points and 10 rebounds. And Iowa a double-digit lead. Michigan's been as close as 4 in the second half. Heiden back to work. What a move!
That is absolutely how you ride it up from a post-up clinic by Heiden.
Third straight double-double, largest lead for the Hawkeyes. And Heiden behind Sophomore with the foul.
Ava Heiden letting the ball get reversed right here from the top. She seals the left and then just swings through the Sophomore pressure. The impressive thing about Ava Heiden this year is how quick she is and yet powerful. And she's unorthodox. She moves so quick on the catch. And I think when you try to prepare for it, until you see it, it's hard to believe it.
Well, this big moment right here. Kylie Fierbach, who has been in the lap of Olson all day, her fourth foul for Iowa. So Michigan comeback-minded. And put some foul trouble on the best defender for the Hawkeyes. A tough catch. Olson puts it home.
And that is exactly what you need to do. Olson get the ball on the block when Fierbach has the 4 fouls and go right at the rim.
Sophomore not sure of that call. It's her third. Quick look up like, what? Me?
Well, when you are a pressure team, and if it's going to be whistled tightly, it puts you at a major disadvantage because you just can't be as pesky when you think the whistle is going to come.
Screen from Heiden. Roll for Heiden.
Dominating right now. She is taking this game over.
Olson, tough look. Sophomore tapped it to Delphos. And there's another dog pile. This one will stay with Michigan.
The intensity in front of their home crowd for Iowa. They are absolutely getting after it. Brilliant bounce pass on the move. That post-to-post connection from Stuelke to Heiden. And you see Heiden saying, thank you, pointing to her senior. Thanks for getting me the ball.
Remember what Kim Barnes-Rico told us about the decision-making for Iowa? It happens way faster than you can emulate ever in practice. Swords, quick fire, doesn't find the bottom. Iowa has made their last 6 from the floor. Heiden taking over this game in the fourth. With each basket, 15,000 roaring louder and louder. Heiden gets them on their feet again.
And instead of a scowl, it's a smile for Ava Heiden. She is putting on a show and putting the Hawkeyes on her back. The sophomore on senior day saying, come follow me.
The third straight 20-point double-double for Ava Heiden. She is on an absolute heater the last week and a half.
And she's so fun to watch. And how she attacks the defense. This time the show, the rip through, puts the ball on the deck. Traditional sealed her step, that is where she's special. And 8 points in the fourth quarter alone for Ava Heiden. She's 4 for 4 in crunch time, and she has the Hawkeyes on a 6-0 run in the last minute.
I wonder if you agree with this. Man, in my eyes, Ava Heiden, the most improved player in the Big Ten, no question.
I don't think there's any question. Last year you saw the glimpses of how good she was, and Jan Jensen bringing her along and having her learn the system as Iowa does. Another senior like that, Taylor McCabe, who unfortunately tore her ACL, but there's very few freshmen that come in right away and start dominating Iowa. They've got people that are seniors and juniors and experience ahead of them. That's a sign of a great program. But you saw Ava Heiden and her physical gifts, and I think this year just learning how to seal and on reversals and the post connection with her and Hannah Stuelke, it's been really special to see her make a huge leap from a role player coming off the bench to a star in this conference.
And Holloway to Swords in the backcourt. Wasn't touched, so no backcourt violation. And fitting that Ava Heiden ran back onto the floor to Joker and the Thief. It's a big old school rock fan. That's in the backcourt. And Swords and right. Hustle with Swords, touching it up on what is now a backcourt violation.
I love it. You mentioned Ava Heiden rocking out to the tunes with her dad. I don't know what the song choice would be today. Come on, feel the noise.
Don't Stop Me Now by Queen.
Sure.
That's probably what we got rolling the next break with if Del Tufo has it back there. Here's Heiden, 22 on the board. To the Freddie Mercury.
I mean, the seas have parted in the paint. What was a tussle and a fight for every bucket has turned into the Ava Heiden show inside the lane.
Almost doubling Michigan in the paint. And barely got anything for Swords. And Iowa looking inevitable in this game against another top 10 team at Carver Hawkeye.
22 points, 10 boards for Ava Heiden. Coming off a career high 27.
And keep in mind, this is a Michigan team that has played UCLA and UConn as well as anybody in the country. 3-point loss against both those teams. Nobody's been even close to UConn besides Michigan.
Well, it's just, I think Iowa here on their home floor, just one loss this season, and that was to Minnesota, who's top 10 in the net rankings. The advantage of playing in Carver is real. The electricity. It is 50 sellouts in a row in this building, and they feel it, and you can feel how much energy they get here.
Almost 3 years to the day. It's been sold out every single game. Turnover, deadly flex away. That Caitlin Clark game winner against Indiana started the sellout streak in 2023, and every game since there's been a packed house here. So that underscores why it's so important to play at home in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
100%. And I think with this victory over top 6 Michigan, I think Iowa has secured that home court advantage. And that's a huge part. When you get to play in the women's tournament, your first 2 games at home, you got a path to the Sweet 16 right there for you.
Well, Michigan not done yet as far as finishing second in the league, and also getting a 1 seed because you have top 15 teams to come at Ohio State, and then against Maryland at Chrysler next weekend on Fox.
Well, it's the good news and the bad news of playing in this conference with so many great teams. Every game is an opportunity to prove to the selection committee that you're the best in this league and one of the best in the nation. And for Michigan, yeah, they get to hop right back on it and go to Ohio State, who's another top 10 opponent on their schedule.
This is a Michigan team that has already tied their regular season record for wins with 22. Also their Big Ten record for wins with 13. The 1 win in their final 2 games will be a new best ever. And if they want to run down the 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, might have to get them both. Of course, a bunch of opportunities coming You would think in Indianapolis also.
Get it to Heiden.
Heiden counts for a huge day. Look at you playing point guard.
I mean, feed the hot hand. She has been unstoppable.
Stuelke the rebound, and Iowa can run it out unless Michigan fouls, or Dan Jensen takes it.
She wants to give.
Senior sub, I would think.
Yep, absolutely. Let them feel the love from this crowd inside of Carver.
The hometown hero, Hannah Stuelke. The humility of Kylie Feuerbach. In their second to last regular season game on this floor on what's their senior day. And calling this senior group, there's 4 of them. And Jada Junke and Taylor McCabe, your front injuries. The final 4, this group of seniors. And a reason to smile on their senior day here in Iowa.